Well, good morning and rise and shine, and welcome to Live at 6:05. I am Dr. Amy Nussbaum on this Friday morning. So excited that we made it to Friday. But as we get rolling this morning, let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever felt a spark, maybe an idea or a knowing deep down inside of you, but you didn't act on it? Did you ever feel like God has put something on your heart, but maybe fear or uncertainty or even just busyness of the day keeps you from moving forward? Or have you ever watched someone else doing the thing that you were dreaming about and thought, that could have been me if? If you've ever felt this way, this moment this morning is for you. Because here's the truth: inspiration is sacred, and it's often how God nudges us towards the very thing that He has created us to do. But inspiration without action can slowly lead to regret. So, what is inspired action? Inspired action is when you say yes to the idea, to the vision, or those nudges that God places in your spirit. It's more than just being motivated, it's movement rooted in purpose and in trust. And inspired action doesn't make sense to everyone. Sometimes people will say, well, why are you doing that? That's weird. It doesn't make sense to everyone else. It might even feel scary or stretch you beyond your comfort zone. And some people will say, well, this is out of my comfort zone, so it must not be what God wants me to do. And that is actually the opposite of what is true, because it requires you to rely on Him, because it aligns your spirit and it pulls you closer to the person you are becoming. James 2:17 reminds us faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. You were never meant to just feel inspired. You were created to do something with it. So, what happens if you don't take the inspired action? Oftentimes people will just stay in their head and they're overthinking what they are feeling that they should be doing. They're second guessing themselves, or maybe you are waiting for the perfect time that just never comes. You let fear of failure or judgment talk you out of doing the next right step. You start to feel restless or frustrated, not because you don't know what to do, but because you aren't actually doing it. You watch doors open and doors close without walking through them. You lose confidence in yourself and you start believing that maybe it was never meant for you. Delaying action doesn't make the calling go away, it just makes the journey longer and heavier. But what if you said yes? What if we got together and we started working towards your vision, towards that dream of yours? Within the first few days of working together, you are responding to that nudge with some simple um, actions, a phone call, or maybe a post or a decision, maybe saying a prayer, and instantly something shifts inside of you because you moved. By week 3 of working together, you are building momentum. It's messy and imperfect, but you are finally doing the things that God has placed on your heart to do. By week 5, your faith is growing and you're not just waiting for that perfect time or perfect conditions. You're actually showing up and making progress step by step. By week 9, you've created some real progress and you're not who you were when you started. You're bolder, you're braver, and you feel more alive because you're actually stepping into your purpose. By week 16, your life looks completely different. That's 4 months down the road. And um, your life looks different and you look completely different as well, because you've stopped waiting and you've started building. You've discovered the joy of obedience and the fruit of your faith and the freedom that comes with finally taking action. So here's the problem though: the longer you sit on that inspired idea, the heavier it gets. And the enemy doesn't really need to defeat you, he just needs to delay you. God gave you that idea, that dream, or that nudge on purpose and for a purpose. And someone somewhere is waiting on the other side of your obedience. They need what you are being called to do. So you don't have to know every step. You just need to take the right one. And if you're tired of holding back, if you know that you've been sitting on something that God gave you, it's time to move. Drop the word action in the comments or send me a message. And if you are ready to take inspired action and start walking on purpose, let's get that complimentary session scheduled for you so that we can start taking some steps towards that action for you, that inspired action, so that you can start walking on purpose and walking in your purpose. You don't have to wait until you feel ready. You just have to be willing to take that first step. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. Otherwise, have a great weekend, you guys. I will see you on Monday. But until then, remember, you are made for more. So go light up this world with your purpose and with your